Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me today. As you can see here, I have a set of TomBow coloured pencils to review. Now, I've done a TomBow review before. It was of the iridescent pencils. I'll have a link for that review down in the description box if you want to go across and take a little look at that. But the iridescent pencils were packaged really fantastic. They were kind of like they were almost like a collector's type pencil. The pencils themselves are quite hard. They're not really full of pigment, but they're a beautiful pencil, and the packaging was the main talking point about the pencils. TomBow have since brought out this set of pencils, and they call them TomBow 1500. I'm not too sure what the 1500 stands for, if it's what it's relevant for, or if it's just a number that they've plucked out. I don't think so. I think this 1500 stands for something or represents something, but as of yet, I can't find out what it is. This is the pencils that I'm going to demonstrate for you here today. They are very different to the iridescent pencils. The iridescent are quite hard. They're not very pigmented. They're nice pencils. They layer well, that type of thing. These pencils are kind of the opposite side of that. They're very pigmented, much softer than the iridescent, but they're still a hard core. But it's just they are much softer than the iridescent for anybody that's used the iridescent. But so let's get into the review here, and we'll take a look at the sets that are available, that type of thing, and the actual pencils themselves. So first of all, the sets that are actually available are 12, 24 and 36. So again, we've got a set of pencils that are really quite nice, but they only come in a 36. I'm not 100% sure why companies are doing this. There's quite a lot of companies have come out with new sets of pencils or whatever, or have developed a set of pencils, and they seem to go like 12, 24, 36 and just cut off at that. I personally think that for colour pencil artists, especially if you're going to be doing, fine art with them, like some colour pencil artists are able to achieve, I definitely think that you're going to need a bigger set than 36. But as I've always said, if you do go and get a set of pencils, I think 36 is the absolute minimum that you can go for, because pencils, they're not paint. So when you mix or blend or something like that, you can do it. It is achievable depending on how soft or hard the pencils are, but you can achieve new colours with it, new shades and tones, that type of thing. But you do have to work at it, and it is quite limited in any case. So obviously, TomBow's a Japanese company, so a lot of the writing on the inside of this tin here is Japanese. I'll just open here. You can see the full range of colours that are available. They are a really nice set of pencils. My only issue with this particular set is that they have one grey pencil. If you look at the end here, they have a silver and a gold. And I personally would have preferred to have seen maybe a warm grey and a light cool grey and a dark cool grey to coincide with this one grey that they have. I just think that having one grey in a set is, I know it's only 36, but I would have preferred to have had the gold and silver removed and different tones of grey in there. If we take a look at the actual pencils themselves, so if you take a look at the actual pencil, the barrel is 7.2 mils in diameter, and the core is 3.2 mils. So it's quite a slim pencil. It feels nice in hand. It's very, very lightweight. In terms of information on the barrel of the pencil, we have, working from the core tip to the end of the pencil, we have, it just says here, monograph. Then it says colour pencil, which is obviously the name of the brand of pencils that TomBow have done here. Then we have the TomBow logo, which is the little dragonfly, and the TomBow name. And then it says here 1500, which is obviously the brand of pencil. We turn the barrel over. The pigment name is actually on the pencil, but it's on the pencil in Japanese. But I'll show you, they do have a chart on the inside of the tin where you can, where the Japanese version is printed and the English version is printed beside it. So you do actually have a chart with the pigment names on it. And then right on the very end here, we have a number which does correspond to the pigment color. Now, the only issue that I have with so in other words, these pencils do come open stock, but so far the only way that I've seen these pencils come in open stock is in sets. So in other words, if you wanted a blue, you would have to get a little box, and these boxes, I think there's 15 or 20 pencils in a box. Or yeah, there's 12. Sorry, there's 12 pencils in a box. They're the individual pigments, but you've got to buy them in these boxes, and they can range from like £36, that type of thing. That's not the cost of the actual sets of pencils. I'll have that over in the Art Gear Guide. I'll have a link for that down below if you want to go across and see all the prices. But they do sell them open stock, but I think it kind of defeats the purpose if they just sell the open stock pencils in a box of 12, because you may not always want to get that many of a particular colour. You might have just ran out of a colour and you just want that individual colour. Now, I will say this, however, I do think that these pencils are more prominent in the US than what they are in Europe at the minute, and the UK. When I've been looking around on Amazon, on the US version of Amazon, I see a lot more sets available, that type of thing, and open stock pencils. On the UK Amazon, I can see the box sets of individual pencils, and there's plenty of sets, the 12, 24 and 36 that you can buy. But it just seems to be at the minute that this particular brand of the TomBow pencils are more prominent in the US. I think maybe TomBow are in the process of pushing more in through Europe, and that type of thing. But just right now, at the time that I'm doing this video, that's the way it is. So if you just let me, I will move the camera here so that you can see what I'm talking about. So this is the inside of the tin. This is the inside of the lid, and you can see here that the pigment names are printed in Japanese. Now, that Japanese script that's on the inside of the tin is also on the barrel of the pencil that I showed you earlier on. And then obviously you've got the pigment name in English beside it. So you do have reference to it, and you can reference it by looking at the pencil, the script that's on the barrel as well. Okay, so this is just a simple colour swatch that I've done. I have done some artwork in a speed drawn. Again, this artwork has been done with marker and the TomBow pencils as well for all the detail, that type of thing. So you can still get a gist of the type of artwork that you can achieve with these pencils, because they are really nice and soft. They work well on soft type paper like the Bristol plate that I've been using for this particular artwork that I'm showing you. They work really well over alcohol markers as well, so that's a big plus as well. But as you can see here, this is the colour chart. So this is the 36 set, which is the largest set. You can see here it's got a nice selection of blues, nice selection of greens, yellows, reds, orange, and then just let me we've got some nice purples, magentas. In fact, there's a lot more purples in this 36 set than I've seen in any other 36 set. So this is definitely the most prominent colour that I see in this set. As you can see yourself there's quite a lot. I think maybe they could have dropped maybe one of those and put another grey in. But it is what it is. As you can see here as well down at the bottom, I've done a little bit of a blending or a mixing test. So you can see here with the yellow and red, I've got this nice orange. Blue and yellow, I've got this nice green. And then I've done this red and blue. And it's created this kind of purple tone. But all in all, the pencils blend really nicely together. They layer really nice. I've used these pencils now on 140-pound cold pressed watercolor paper. They blend and they layer really well on that. I've tried them on some Strathmore Bristol Smooth 400 series, and I've also tried them on with the artwork that I've done. I've done that on Strathmore Bristol Plate 500 series. Again, blends really, really nicely on that paper as well. So I've used a different range of papers, and the pencils work really nicely on it. I've got some black paper here as well. I'm just going to show you how the pencils work on black paper. Because when I was doing the swatch there, it's obviously easy to see the black. The black that I had there on that swatch, it's quite a nice dark black. So just let me zoom in here a little bit for you. Okay, so this is the lighter of the greens. You can see here that actually these pigments are quite opaque. Some blue. This is the sky blue. I'll obviously have a still image of this over in the art gear guide where you can get to see the pigments a little bit better than you can do on a video camera. I've got a yellow here as well. And finally the white. Now the white, as you can see here, the white is really quite nice, nice and opaque. And I am putting like quite a heavy application down here on the black paper. When I do these black paper tests, I always just do like one heavy application. I don't try to layer about or anything like that. So the lights in here are quite strong, but you can see there, this is the light green, the yellow. They're quite similar looking on the black paper, but they are quite opaque. This is a sky blue, vermilion red, and then we've got this white here as well. So you can see how they've reacted on that paper. I also done a little bit of testing with these pencils on some adult colouring books, just a little bit, and they work really nice on there as well. The nice thing about these TomBow pencils is with the Irrigitin, sometimes they could be a little bit difficult to get hold of. You would have to purchase them from stores in Japan and have them shipped over, at least here in the UK. In any case, I think in America it was a little bit different. But with like I say, with this 1500 set, they seem to be you seem to be able to get hold of them, but as I mentioned earlier on, they seem much more prominent in America. But nevertheless, they are a really nice set of pencils. The price of them, like I say, I have over in the Art Gear Guide because the prices change all the time. So I just keep them over on the Art Gear Guide where I can change them. They're reasonably priced. They're not the cheapest pencils out there. There's definitely cheaper pencils that you could get hold of and get a similar type quality from them. But they're not super expensive. I think when the Irrigitin first came out, they were really super expensive because of the packaging and everything that they came in. But these are well priced for what they are. I enjoyed using these. I think what's really nice about them is the level of pigment in the pencils. There's none of these pencils in this set that are kind of like that you've got to work hard to get the pigment out of them or anything like that. And they're like I've already said, their layering ability is really nice also. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you've got any questions about these pencils, by all means, just leave a question down in the description box down below. I have to apologise for... I'm doing my best to make sure that I'm answering and replying to people who are leaving questions or comments in the description boxes down below. Obviously, as the channel's grown, more and more people are leaving comments, which is fantastic. And the last thing in the world I want to do is just have people think that I'm ignoring them, because it's absolutely not the case. I will get round to replying, but you might have to just give me a little bit more time than what it was like at the beginning when I started the channel, because I didn't have that many comments coming in. Now, as you can see on some of the videos, I'm getting a lot of comments, but I definitely will get round to answering your questions, so please bear with me. I am not ignoring anybody, and I always read the comments as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. It's coming up to Christmas soon, so I'll have a few different things on the go for Christmas themed things, that type of stuff. And also, at the time of putting this video out, this is now the 21st of November, so only 9 more days for the giveaway announcement of the Caran d'Ache Museum Aqua Royale. And then on the 10th of December as well, I will be announcing the winner of the Caran d'Ache Super Soft giveaway that I'm doing as well. Okay, guys, thanks, bye.